Okay, interview with Kragen Lum of Heathen, second part. So back to Heathen, 2020, the album Empire of the Blind of Heathen, 10 years after the evolution of chaos. I've read that you are very perfectionist. Is that the reason why in each of your bands you release this between two records are very long?
Uh, I think ultimately, it doesn't have anything to do with that. It's more about circumstances. So between the first two albums, for example, um, the band unfortunately kind of screwed up their own career a little bit. And they had a very successful first release with Breaking the Silence, and then they they took too much time away. They kicked Dave out of the band and got Paul Bailoff to sing for a short period of time, and then had Dave come back. And I think ultimately, if they would have released Victims of Deception earlier, they may have even had a third record. But they spent so much time, kind of uh, not focusing on what they had. Um, and then, the metal scene just kind of died. I mean, the band was touring and playing shows as late as 1993 for Victims of Deception. And then, Lee got an opportunity to join the Groups in Germany, and they were making money and playing big shows, and he did that. That long gap between Victims of Deception uh, and then the evolution of chaos really was more about just the band getting back together. They did get back together in 2001. They recorded the demo in 2005, and then it took, Lee had also joined Exodus at the time, so he was trying to find time to work on Heathen in between Exodus stuff, right? And then I joined the band in 2007, and we finally were able to make the record. The long gap between the evolution of chaos and Empire of the Blind, I actually had most of the songs for Empire of the Blind in 2012, the music, um, and vocals and stuff like that by 2014. So that was the core of it right there. And I was just busy. Lee and I were both busy with Exodus, playing and touring and stuff like that. And it's hard to find the time to work on it. Um, so when I finally finished playing with Exodus and Gary came back full time, I talked to Lee and I said we need to make a record. I've got most of this material already. So that was really it. It just, it took a long time. I don't expect it to take as long, uh, for the next record. We did have a delay because of COVID. So we made Empire of the Blind, and then as we were getting everything ready to release, COVID happened, and we weren't able to tour for 2 years because of that. So we made this what we thought was a great record, and we wanted to tour for it. So we went on tour, and we just kept getting great offers. We played with Overkill a couple of different times. We did a tour with Warbringer. We did a tour with Symphony X. We did a lot and we went to a lot of places where the band had never been before. Our goal was really to spread the word and get the band back to where it should be. Uh, so we made the live record because I wanted to put something out while we were working on the new record. We're actually supposed to go into the studio in June to start working on the new record. The guitar tracks are already finished, all the rhythm guitar tracks, most of the overdubs, almost all my solos. So when we go in, we kind of have a head start. That's how we did Empire of the Blind also. The guitar tracks were mostly finished. Then we recorded the drums, and I'm able to do a lot of things here at home. I record all my own guitar stuff, so it's a good way for us to sort of fast track getting the rest of the record done. Uh, we know that we've been not great about putting things out regularly. So we're trying to work on ways to go the opposite direction. We've actually got a couple of songs that are not going to be on the album that are ready to be mixed already. Those I'm hoping will come out at least digitally before the new record, and then the new record will come out. The new record will probably come out next year at this point because of the manufacturing timelines for vinyl and stuff like that. But we should have something out at least this year, later this year. So our goal is to kind of put stuff out more regularly, and with a couple of big album anniversaries and stuff like that, I'm hoping that we actually have like 2 releases a year instead for a little while to make up for all the time where we, release things infrequently. So.
Okay. So on this album, among the guests, we found Rick Arnold, who played in Exodus some years ago. Can you tell about his participation, and have you got some news about him?
Yeah, well, I mean, there were a couple of tours that we did where Rick filled in for Gary, where Heathen was on tour with Exodus, and I got to know Rick a little bit. He's a really good guy. I love his playing. And when I was working on the instrumental "A Fine Red Mist," uh, there were a lot of guitar solos, and I thought it might be cool to have what I called a Bay Area shred off. So Gary plays, and then Rick plays, and then Lee and Doug play from the original Heathen lineup, and then I play afterwards. And I thought it was just kind of a cool way to bring all those players together. They all have very different styles, and it was a fun way to get everybody involved. And I know Rick's got a new project with Doug, um, and I hope they do well with it.
Okay. You finally record a song with Exodus, Lunatic Liar Lord. Can you talk about this one?
Yeah, the guys asked me if I would do a guest solo for the new record. I said yes. They gave me the the basic recording, like a rough mix, and I just worked out a solo. And it was kind of a similar thing where they actually have Rick plays on that song also. So it was kind of a similar thing to what I had just done with the Fine Red Mist, where we had multiple guitar players all playing together, and it was cool. I'm glad I got the opportunity to do it. I've got the vinyl hanging on my wall over there. It's cool to be on an Exodus record. I can't complain.
Hmm? Okay. So about Heathen, um, did you remember if you have already played in France, and that in France are possible soon, or
For Heathen, we've got some stuff that we're working on for later in the year in Europe.
ah merde. Sorry, my
That's
connection.
okay. That's all
Uh,
right. Yeah. So I was saying that I was just going to say that the last time that we played, that I remember in France, we played on the Overkill tour. We played a venue in Paris, and it was a weird venue. And we had to the stage was small, and we had to set up kind of like in the corner because Overkill's stuff took up so much room. Um, that was the last time I remember playing in France, but they're always good shows. We love to play there, so I can't wait to come back.
hmm, okay. So we arrive at the end of this interview. Do you have a last word to the end?
You
Uh,
frozen? You good? All right.
Okay, I said, do you have a last word to finish?
Yeah, I mean, just look for more new Heathen stuff coming out soon. Um, if you haven't checked it out already, please check out the live album, Bleed the World Live. Um, I think we made a great live record with the crowd and everything recorded, and it came out killer. The mix is great. And like I said, we've got a lot of new stuff we're working on, new record, maybe a couple surprises beforehand. So keep your eyes peeled. Check out those Heathen socials. If you're on Instagram, please follow the band. Keep up with all the stuff we're doing. Um, I just put up a Breaking the Silence guitar book for pre-order, so check that out. Anything you can do to support your underground metal bands, please do it.
Okay. So, again, thank you for your time, and I set you free for your next interview.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, see you soon.
All right. All the best. Take care.
Thank you.